Breaking news. President Donald Trump has convened an urgent and unprecedented summit in Washington, D.C. World leaders, including Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, along with top European officials, have gathered at the White House. The key agenda, discussing security guarantees for Ukraine, a deal that could reshape the future of the Russia-Ukraine war, and global stability. This summit comes at a critical time. The war in Ukraine has entered its fourth year, with Russian forces digging in across occupied territories and Ukraine pushing for international backing that goes beyond financial aid. Zelenskyy's plea is clear. Ukraine wants binding security guarantees, similar to NATO's Article 5 clause. An attack on one is an attack on all. This demand marks a turning point. For the United States and its allies, offering such guarantees could mean a deeper commitment, possibly even direct confrontation with Moscow. Among those attending this emergency session are leaders from France, Germany, the United Kingdom, and Poland. Each brings a unique perspective. France and Germany push for diplomacy. The UK insists on military backing. Poland, sharing a border with Ukraine, demands ironclad defence commitments. At the centre of it all, Trump positions the United States as the key power broker. The stakes could not be higher. For Ukraine, this is a matter of survival. Without robust security commitments, Kyiv fears Russia could regroup and launch new offensives. For Europe, it's about regional stability and preventing the war from spilling over into NATO territory. And for Trump, the summit is more than diplomacy. It's a chance to redefine America's global role at a time when critics question US resolve. Behind closed doors, leaders are debating the mechanics of these guarantees. Will it be a formal treaty, binding allies to defend Ukraine, or a looser coalition, promising military aid but avoiding direct NATO membership? Sources say Trump favours a coalition of guarantees, a system that ensures weapons, intelligence and air defence support, but stops short of triggering automatic military intervention. Predictably, Moscow has condemned the summit. Russian officials warn that granting Ukraine Article 5-style guarantees would be considered an act of aggression. The Kremlin claims it will escalate if NATO or the US formalises military commitments. Analysts say this rhetoric is part of Putin's strategy to intimidate the West. But it also underscores just how explosive this summit's outcome could be. The decisions made in Washington don't just affect Ukraine, they ripple across the globe. Allies in Asia, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan are watching closely. If the US cements security guarantees in Europe, will it also bolster commitments in Asia, especially against China's rising assertiveness? Meanwhile, American voters are asking, should US taxpayers continue funding wars abroad? Also, this was an agent state contentry. This fictive, his historic summit could reshape the future of the Ukraine war and redefine America's role in the 21st century. Will Trump and the coalition deliver on Ukraine's plea for security? Or will the world witness another stalemate, leaving Kyiv vulnerable and Moscow emboldened? Across the world, reactions are divided. Some hail Trump's summit as bold leadership. Others fear it will drag America deeper into foreign wars. In Europe, thousands rally in support of Ukraine, while anti-war protests demand diplomacy over escalation. On social media, the debate rages. Is this summit a step toward peace, or the start of a new Cold War? This wartime summit could reshape the future of global security. Ukraine's fate, Europe's stability, and America's credibility are all on the line. Will history remember this as the moment a new defence order was born, or as a mischance to stop a widening war? Only time will tell me. Back home, Trump's wartime summit has ignited fierce debate on Capitol Hill. Republicans hail it as proof of strong leadership, a moment to restore America's global standing. Democrats, meanwhile, raise questions about transparency, funding, and the risks of committing US forces abroad. This partisan divide underscores a larger truth. America's foreign policy is no longer bipartisan. Every international move has become a domestic battlefield. This polarization could make or break Trump's ability to push through binding security guarantees. If Congress can't unite, America's promises may not carry the weight allies expect. The media has seized on the summit with a mix of drama and division. Conservative outlets praise Trump for standing up to Russia and defending Western values. Liberal voices warn of recklessness, painting the summit as political theatre ahead of elections. International media from the BBC to Al Jazeera frame it as a turning point in the war. Beyond the speeches and handshakes, military planners are quietly mapping the implications of any security guarantee. What would it mean if Russia strikes Ukraine again? Would American jets patrol Ukrainian skies? Would European troops deploy to Ukraine's borders? Pentagon insiders warn that promises on paper must match real capabilities or risk undermining deterrence. This is the shadow looming over the summit. Can the West truly back up its words with steel and firepower if Putin tests their resolve? The war in Ukraine is not only a military conflict, it's an economic earthquake. Europe's dependence on Russian gas has already triggered an energy crisis. Inflation is soaring, supply chains disrupted, and the cost of rebuilding Ukraine could reach hundreds of billions. Trump's coalition knows that any security guarantees must come with financial backing. Without dollars and euros, words are just words. Yet there's another factor. Russia profits from instability. Energy prices spike and Moscow fills its war chest. The economic chessboard is as important as the battlefield. While the West debates Ukraine's security, the rest of the world is watching closely. India, Brazil, South Africa, and dozens of non-aligned nations see the war through a different lens. To them, this summit is a European problem, one that shouldn't drain global resources. China, meanwhile, positions itself as Russia's silent partner, offering trade and diplomatic cover. The question becomes, can Trump's coalition rally the world, or will global divisions deepen? So what happens next? There are three main possibilities. First, the coalition signs a historic agreement giving Ukraine NATO-style protection short of full membership. Second, leaders settle for vague promises, strong words but no ironclad defence. Third, the talks falter, leaving Ukraine vulnerable and signalling division to the world. Each path carries risks. Success could deter Russia, but failure could embolden it. By sea, this summit may not end the war, but it will shape the battlefield of diplomacy for years to come. History is being written in Washington tonight. Trump's summit brings together hope, fear, and ambition under one roof. For Ukraine, it's about survival. For Europe, it's about unity. For America, it's about leadership. And for the world, it's about whether we are entering a new age of collective defence or sliding back into the chaos of great power rivalry. Whatever the outcome, the world will remember this moment as a turning point in the Russia-Ukraine war. Now it's over to you. Do you believe this summit will deliver real guarantees for Ukraine, or is it just political theatre? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Your Today Gist for the latest breaking news and in-depth analysis.